Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the current first legend team of the season, the current #1 team of this current season, and this is going to be an exciting one because we're going to have here, of course, a very strong team, and I want to climb a little bit. I would like to get up a little bit higher up here as well, and today I definitely did climb quite a bit with this first legend team of the season. This team got me up to the expert rank. I only recently hit the veteran rank because I just didn't play really a lot, and I had veteran, and now I hit expert already, which is amazing. So if you didn't know that as well, by the way, right now the leaderboards are quite a bit different towards what you would usually expect at this point of the season. Usually people have hit legend already like one and a half weeks ago. Now they didn't, which kind of showcases that less players are mostly playing and there's less elo currently to gain, which is a bit of a bad sign, to be fair. But still, I want to try to, of course, hit a legend yet again for the, I think, what season are we on now? I think 27th or something season. I also, of course, it's my goal always to hit legend, and I'm definitely getting a little bit closer now. But also, I'm kind of high on the leaderboards now. I want to see very quick, like, where I should be kind of with that. I hit, I think, 2,760, somewhere around there, elo with this team, with the first legend team of this season. Here, of course, the team is going to be Tinkerton Lead. Saysop is going to be the third. I'm not sure if they are running on third the Brick Break or the Trailblaze. I went for the standard moveset. I think Trailblaze is currently maybe a tiny bit better. And then on the Guslord, we are running the Dragon Claw, which I do think is currently the better move to go for. There are not a lot of targets for Sludge Bomb, in my opinion. And so I do think this is the best way to go. Currently on the leaderboards, by the way, with the ranking that I have right now, I would be around 250, or top 250 in the world. And I'm messing, by the way, actually, because I'm currently trying to do a new series, which is going to start very soon on the channel, so definitely stay tuned for that. And in the series, I'm kind of trying to mess, but I'm actually able to climb apparently, which is not really what you're supposed to be doing. But that's how things are on this channel. So, yeah, I'm very happy with my ranking right now as well. We're going to be able to, take a look a bit more at the team, see on how to run this team. And here we were able to actually catch an Earthquake, which is really huge because we saw this wireless in the beginning of the opponent, which means that they would be very good against my... they definitely would rather want to have the Tinkerton not against this wireless, and so try to kind of knock me out with the Earthquake there, which is more of an unusual move to have on the Fortress. Earthquake though got buffed as well only recently, so it makes some sense. And so I need to really keep alignment here, and that's what I'm going to try to do. So I decided to use a shield here, even though I'm super low, because I need to keep this wireless against my Tinkerton, because anything else really doesn't matter. I just need to have this matchup still happening. And in the back is going to be Doublade. Actually, good shout. Doublade is a Pokemon that a lot of people can underestimate, because everybody's running Aegislash nowadays. Doublade is still a very, very strong Pokemon. Having access to that Sacred Sword makes it so amazing. And as we're going to see, there is going to be now the Trailblaze coming through, boosting ourselves up. We got them super low, but we're also still going to have some energy on our Tinkerton. And this allows us to now knock them out, and with that there's only a wireless left. But just generally, let's talk a little bit on how to play this team, because it's honestly so simple. We have, actually, a thing that also I have to kind of say, we have so many Charger Bug against us, and you see sometimes me going into the Open Great League instead of the Competitors Cup. Every single time I'm in the Open Great League, I start off with like lag, like the opponent got a little bit extra energy in here that they should have not got in with their Pokemon. It's already a tough Pokemon for us to deal with the Charger Bug. But you're going to stop out of here. I'll say Saysop always third. Third is going to be super safe here. So easy to play. It's supposed to bait out some Pokemon that Guslord maybe doesn't want to face as well. And Guslord is going to be our closer. So like it's such a straightforward team to run, which is generally speaking quite what you want to have. It's kind of exactly on, like, basically it's a team that you can copy, and you should be able to play it quite easily immediately, and it should be kind of straightforward to run this team. And here we're going to be up against the third. It's just safer for me to go for this matchup here, because in case I run Brick Break, it's just going to be less damage on the Tinkerton compared to the Guslord. So I have now a Gigaton Hammer stored. If they go into the Charger Bug, I am going to be able to go for a Charge Move here as well. This is going to force the shield from the opponent. We are going to use our own shield next, and now we are going to be able to still pressure the opponent. We want to keep our Guslord healthy, that's why we have to use a shield here. Super effective Accessor, not for us. And in the back, we will never see what they have because they decide to forfeit. And what I said already, Chatterbug seems to be super common. Here we are back on the old system now, which is honestly so much more consistent, which is so sad to see that we lose this system next season and we have to play with the other one. Like, there has to be a lot of changes still for the other one to make any sense for us to swap over. But yeah, they're gonna go into Superior, and this is very interesting. Superior is a Pokemon you don't really see that often, but what I realized is my 2 other Pokemon are really good against this thing, to the point that I could farm them down just with my Guzzlord, and that's what I decided to do. I just go here, get a ton of energy advantage, keep the energy on the Ferret, and just try to utilize it for the end game. Here we are going to have the Ferret coming in from the opponent, which maybe has access to the move Brick Break. We see on what they're running here. Could be Trailblaze as well. I assume if they go into a Ferret, they're very likely gonna go for the Brick Break here. But they have Brick Break, dropping our defense, but it doesn't really matter because they don't do fast move pressure, which is for us specifically quite alright, as we can now swap out into our Tinkaton. Even if they go for a Brick Break, it's not going to do a lot of damage against us. We are going to be able to take the hit, and in comes now the Charjabug, where we can again still take the hit, even though it's now going to do a little bit more because of the Brick Break debuff. We're going to have the Gigaton Hammer, and this resisted damage, but from Tinkaton it doesn't matter. They respect it, they go for the shield, but we have so much energy stored on our other Pokemon, and they're still forced to throw a charge move here, that we have so much pressure now against them that I'm quite confident that we should be able to get ourselves in a very good position to win this game. Swift is coming in, getting the shield. Brutal Swing is coming in on the CMP tie, getting an extra free fast movement here as well for ourselves, and knocking out the Charjabug. That was a perfect play here for us. As they go into the Superior, I just gonna knock them. I don't want to play around here. I just want to get rid of this Pokemon. And at this point, we are going to be able to just, knock them out and win this battle. Next opponent, we have Morpeko in the lead. That's going to be a fantastic lead for ourselves. Not so good for our Ferret, but that's going to be okay as well. But I'm going to use a shield here early, just because Oriole still does hurt quite a bit, but we have now the super effective boulders coming through on the CMP tie, and we force them kind of to swap out of here, because now they only have resisted damage against us. And so I swap out into the Seismitoad. I should have swapped out earlier. I kind of messed it up a little bit for myself, and that's definitely not ideal, as now the opponent is going to be able to go for that Earth Power. I shielded up because I knew that they would go for the hard-hitting move first, and so I kind of waste a bit more of their energy. And I didn't, like, this is the thing as well, I did always think that Seismitoad would be bulkier than the Ferret, but it is not. And so we are in a bit of an awkward position. I'm gonna go for the Swift here because I don't want to get hit by another charge move beforehand. And we're gonna get Boar Shields from the opponent, which is cool, but they're gonna knock us out here. And now, they have Icy Wind and they have Earth Power. Icy Wind against our Pokemon in the back here, against our Guzzlord, Earth Power against our Tinkaton. And so we're kind of in a bit of a very difficult position for ourselves. I sub out into the Tinkaton. I'm going to go for the knockout because I don't want to get hit by an Earth Power. And at least now Seismitoad is going to go down. But I wonder what they have in the back. Very likely it's not going to be... Oh, it's going to be now the Jumpluff coming in against us. This is going to be okay for us. And I just try to catch the move onto the Morpeko. I will go for the charge move still, so I don't get the risk of getting hit basically by a charge move of them. And I have the Gigaton Hammer. This is doing so much damage, as I still have also our Guzzlord. And here's the thing. For them, they need to overfarm by quite a lot. They need to get out of here with 2 charge moves basically, in order to also hit our Guzzlord with an Acrobatics. And I try to counter this by catching a potential energy ball, and this was a perfect play because now the opponent has nowhere to go and we're gonna be able to win this battle. Corsola, actually kinda alright for us, but we're gonna try to swap out into our Ferret to catch the move, which works out absolutely beautifully. Because we have 2 even better answers in the back, it makes way more sense to play it like this, as I now have a Gigaton Hammer for later on, which looks just to be the ideal thing for us. That's exactly what we want to have here. The Trailblaze coming through from our Ferret, and I could even try to align myself. And I do think that this is going to work out really well for us, because now with alignment, I don't know what they could have in the back that would be problematic, like a Fairy-type Pokemon that Guzzlord cannot hit, and a Fairy-type Pokemon must be also good against Tinkaton and good against the Ferret. Oh yeah, Tinkaton. That is exactly the Fairy-type Pokemon that does exactly all of this. And so, maybe in hindsight I would have played things a little bit differently, but in this kind of case I wouldn't, because I do think it makes way more sense to play it the way I did play it now, even though I put myself into a very tough position, because if it was any other Pokemon, I would have been in a really good spot, because I had so much energy, because I had alignment, because I had the Corsola against Pokemon it really doesn't want to face. But literally this one Pokemon here makes things awkward. And you know what makes even things more awkward is that I lose apparently all of my, all of my CMP ties against other Tinkaton. And this is just so silly. Anyway, we're gonna have, the charge move coming through from the opponent. The Bulldoze is coming in. And we have the Gasload now trying to do its best. We try to still get another move. If I got a debuff, by the way, from the Bulldoze as well, I do think this would have knocked it out and we would have still won, but I didn't. And so I got insanely unlucky multiple times here in this battle and just barely lost just because of that. And that is how it is, but I could have maybe won this if I played it. I could have not played it better. I don't think I could have played it better. It was just unfortunate. And again, if we would have had the debuff, I would have been fine there as well. Against Empoleon in the lead, I will try to go into my third. I will try to catch the move here. This is going to be the Hydro Cannon. And here's the thing that I cannot try to play around is if I know they're going to do a lot of damage, a lot of damage here against me, I rather use the shield because I know at least I used my shield wisely. And I used my shield on a Pokemon where I know, okay, I would rather keep this Pokemon around. It has a lot of play against a lot of other Pokemon. And I just shield up damage that I know is going to be heavy hitting. And this is why I used bone shields there, even though I know I would have survived one Hydro Cannon, because I know I would have taken so much damage. In hindsight, maybe it could have been better to not do that, but here I try to catch a Flamethrower. Can we catch a Flamethrower? We cannot catch a Flamethrower. But in the back is going to be Quagsire, and I will go for the Brutal Swing, just trying to get damage early. I just need to get damage onto them, then let the move go through. We have them at half health, and if this is going to be just a Mud Bomb, I might actually be fine to just get the Brutal Swing off, and I do think this is going to work out quite well here. Like, we are going to see the Brutal Swing getting the shield. I can swap out into my Tinkaton, but Mud Bomb now is going to make this a little bit more awkward because I am going to take super effective damage from them, but I can still reach a Bulldoze in time. We even get the debuff onto them, which makes things look so much better for ourselves. Until what? Until they catch this move, which was smart from against the Altaria. Doesn't really matter that much yet. But I was thinking they have so much energy on their Quagsire, they must go straight for like that charge move here, and that did not happen. I swapped out, I tried to catch the move, and I think the extra one fast move here allowed them to go for back-to-back Awkward Tails. And this is so unfortunate, because if I just stayed in, I would have won it straight away, because I would just got a free fast move in. Good game though. So like that was down to me, I could have played it better, I could have just played it better. Anyway, Mantine in the lead. Mantine is going to be okay. I'm just going to try to take the hit here. The hit is going to be taken. This is going to be totally fine. And they will sub out into the Electrode. Imagine I could have went into my Gasload. Gasload would have been a hard counter to Electrode, resisting everything they go for. But I didn't, and I am now in my third. And based on the same principle that I just said, I know that I'm going to take heavy damage here right now. I rather keep alignment, I rather keep my third, and so I'm going to use 2 shields against a Pokemon that would do slightly most of my HP. And so I shield up at least like around 150% of the health of the third, and it allows me to keep my third around, which is in this case really, really useful, as there's going to be the Diggersby. And the Diggersby is a Pokemon I want to deal with my third. As I have super effective damage here, I can try to reach another Swift, which would be amazing, but you know what? Against that Mantine, I was able to also store up a Gigaton Hammer. And as long as I'm going to be able to get the final shield, which I do now, I have the opportunity to just one-shot this Diggersby from this range, which I will take, which I will be able to use here, knock them out, and in the back there's going to be of course still the Mantine, and even here Gigaton Hammer is doing quite some solid damage. It's really something that you have to respect. We resist the fast move damage, we resist Twister twice, and so they're forced to even go for another charge move if they want to keep me, like if they want to get rid of me basically here. And with that, I will be able to win this battle. As I even have moves still stored, they sub out, I am going to be able to go into my Gasload, and we can move on into the next game. So, we're going to have the final game here. We're going to have the Charger Bug again. I know, like, Charger Bug is apparently absolutely everywhere, but it is what it is. We're going to see here the Discharge coming through, and we're going to be able to take the hit as the third comes in. This is going to be fine, and this is going to allow us to take the hit. The extra is coming through, and we try our best to just kind of align ourselves. Again, the new system, I just don't like the new system. It always feels clunky. It always feels like I'm losing turns. And in comes the Florges. I could have played things most way better there as well, but I just don't. I feel like it's so clunky, the new system, and just so unfortunate to see. But as we see as well, there is going to be the Chilling Water coming in. I'm gonna go ahead and go into my Tinkaton. I have still the Gigaton Hammer. I feel like I always give the opponent like a free turn every single time I try to go for something with this new system. But it is what it is. The floor just goes down. Quagsire comes in. I just gonna go for another move. I'm just gonna go for another Gigaton Hammer and see if they're gonna shield, because I still gonna have a shield advantage for my Guzzlord. I know there's going to be the Charger Bug with super effective damage in the back, but also know that they're gonna go straight for the Stone and Chain no matter what. And I kind of want to keep my Guzzlord healthy, and I do think that with this here, I am going to be able to still survive another extra from the opponent. And as you see, a Dragon Claw comes through, gets them kind of low. I will shield this move up as well. It's going to be another Stone Edge. And they're going to swap out here now into the Charger Bug. There's so much lag in the game. But I do think I'm going to be okay. As the Exile comes through, I can go for the Brutal Swing. I can go for another fast move and try to catch a double resisted Exeter onto my Tinkaton, which works out beautifully. And with this, I should be able to align myself, and I should be able to win this game. And this was a fantastic team to run. This is a team that got me up very, very high, which you're going to see directly afterwards. And it's a team I would really recommend you to give a try. They forfeit here, and as you're going to see, we are going to be able to claim our next rank as well. See where we end up with this team 4-1 in the final set there. And this was beautiful. So thanks so much for watching. See you then. Bye-bye.